Okay, on the older Mustangs, they came with rods and a bell crank, and you can get a kit to make that stuff fit a T5 transmission. But for like the last Mustangs that had an L6 in it, you had to they came with a clutch cable. So you had to modify this bell housing to make it fit. Okay, to make this bell housing fit a metric T5 transmission, you have to take and weld these holes shut, the original holes shut, and then take the transmission to the machine shop and make it fit the bell housing. They can machine out the holes and then thread them for you. Okay, this transmission came off of a V6, and the problem is this shaft length is about 1/8 of an inch too long, and it will eat into the bushing. You can go ahead and let it eat into the bushing and it'll work fine, but it's not the right way to do it. Or you could take this out and have it machined and put it back in the transmission when you rebuild this. Another option would be to put a spacer between the bell housing and the transmission. But if you space the transmission out too long, then it might get jammed up back here. Okay, when you hit a bump, the rear end doesn't go exactly straight up and down when you hit a bump. It kind of goes into a curve like this as it goes up and down. That causes the yoke in the transmission to go in and out. Okay, this drive shaft is for a standard transmission. The ones for an automatic are shorter. This yoke has to slide in and out. It has to have enough clearance. If the transmission is sticking out too far back, when you hit a bump, it's going to shove this yoke into the transmission. It's going to bottom out. Something's going to break. Okay, something that you're going to have to think about is if you want to put a standard transmission in, is that the automatic steering column is different than the one that's a standard. You have to put in the clutches down in there too. I put the clutch in because I was going to put a standard in here, but I'm selling the car. Okay, the steering wheel is different too. That's all.